So let's start first of all with the team that we knew for a couple of weeks are going to be picking number 1 in April, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. They finished with a 2-14 record, Dave. They won Week 17 against the Cleveland Clowns, which was beautiful to watch. Just talking about their season, they didn't go well from the moment that AJ Green got injured on the first play of preseason, I guess, for the Bengals. Since he suffered their worst season in franchise history, but they do seem to have a chance to improve with Zach Taylor and this number 1 pick. So the last time the Bengals picked first overall was in 2003 when they took Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Carson Palmer. He spent 7 seasons in Cincinnati and made the Pro Bowl twice.
Yep.
But he was never that good.
No, he was steady.
Steady, but not spectacular.
Yep.
If you're looking at the offensive efficiency ranking, they were 30th in the league this year. Defensive, they were 25th. Special teams, 16th. Overall ranking, 31st. Their 2 wins came in Week 13 against the Jets. They beat them 22-6.
Yeah.
That was after Ryan Finley's 3-game stint when they realised that they had no good backup either. And then that win against the Browns in Week 17, 33-23. Dave, thoughts on the Bengals? Are you encouraged about what's going to happen to them next? Or?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's been a car crash of a season. It really has. But it's been a massive positive, them getting a win. I mean, I know there was a lot of talk of it being them or Miami. Beating the Jets is great for them. Jets look like a decent outfit at times. Other times they look terrible. Beating the Browns as well. So divisional game there.
Yes.
I think the thing that really surprises me somewhat is that they have been as bad as they have. We knew they weren't going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a surprise just how bad they've been. And it doesn't surprise me they're keeping hold of Zach Taylor. I mean, traditionally, I think they've only ever had 10 head coaches since they've started. So they keep hold of their coaches for quite a while.
Sometimes too long.
And we think of the Bengals as being somewhat of a joke, somewhat of a
last chance saloon, isn't it?
Yeah, a terrible team. But I mean, if you go back to 2015, that was the end of a 7-season stint where 6 times they got in the playoffs. I mean, they never did anything in the playoffs. No, but they still got there.
They were finishing second around in the division anyway. And it's a tough division. They won
the division 3 times, I believe. They got into the playoffs once, finishing 3rd. But generally, they were a decent, steady team. I mean, 2 of those times they got knocked out straight away by the Steelers because they lost their heads. But,
they did, yeah.
So they've not, in recent years, they've not been a terrible team. I think keeping Zach Taylor is a good move for them. Taylor made Jared Goff look very, very good.
No.
Yes.
Well, you think so?
Well, they got to
put down Sean McVay. What he was doing there.
He was Jared Goff's quarterback coach, and they got to the Super Bowl. Zach Taylor leaves. Jared Goff doesn't look as good.
That's a lot of credit on one person.
But it's true. No, I'm just saying that's factual.
All right.
I think they have a lot of holes to pick. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt they've got to pick a quarterback first overall.
Well, the consensus is it's Joe Burrow. It's coming from LSU.
There's also.
He can't play on the line though. He can't play O-line for them at the same time.
No,
so
they have to also address the O-line, but at the same time, they're getting guys. They've got a few guys who are very young on the O-line, and it takes a few years to mature. Linebacker is a big issue. I mean,
it has been for a while.
It has been, but they've got. I mean, Jermaine Pratt is very good. Plays weak side and middle. Still young. I think he's 23, 24. Still really young. You need to learn that position. Nick Virgil's okay. He's not bad. He's not terrible. He doesn't get run all over.
Yeah.
He's, again, 26, 27 years old. But they've got nothing after that. They've got no depth at linebacker. No depth. That's the issue. When Drake Kirkpatrick got injured at cornerback, again, nothing after that. Although, ironically, after that is when they got their first win. So, say what you want. It's also that AJ Green and Tyler Eifert are both unrestricted free agents after this season as well. Yeah. Now...
I mean, AJ would have not played again, I thought. But then if you get Joe Burrow in the building, he might want to come back for a season to see how it goes. Cause
is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing to get rid of it? I mean, he earns a wedge. He earns a decent.
He does. You wouldn't think their salary cap was that bad, would you? Because they've got no real superstars in that team. Joe Mixon should be asking for more money after this season.
Yeah, but he's a running back, so you're not going to pay him any more than about $3 million.
Yeah, but they've got nothing else really to go at. So, and Tyler Eifert has been injured so many times.
Yes.
If you have to pay him again, what are the odds he's going to play every game for you?
I mean, Yeah, I mean,
Is
he's
the
not going
answer,
to be playing a huge amount, but they're the few weapons offensively that they do have. So if you're bringing in a new quarterback and you're removing his two main weapons,
draft two others,
two main receiving weapons. That's not good.
Tyler Boyd did okay. You know, he's not a bad receiver.
Tyler Boyd and John Ross are okay, but they're burners. That's all they are.
Yeah. But you can pick up a possession receiver in the draft lower down.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. So that's the Bengals. It's interesting, actually, because I thought a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking, why aren't people talking about Zach Taylor getting fired after one season? We talk about Freddie Kitchens getting fired after one season. And Pat Shermer, you know, people not having a lot of rope. And this guy's coming with only a 2-win record, yet no one is talking about him getting fired. And I think the reason that is because there is no drama coming out of that locker room.
No.
Every other team has got moaning, has got infighting, and stuff going on around the team, stories happening, but the Bengals had nothing happen out of that locker room. Nothing came out of it that was a problem. Even AJ Green, his will he, won't he all season was a kind of, well, they didn't really care, you know, they were still just going to plod along, figure out what they had at quarterback, which turned out to be, you know, nothing.
Yeah.
And then, make a push for the draft. So,
I mean, it's a fair comparison to make the Bengals against the Browns, both in Ohio, both in the same division, both really coming from the same
similar
position.
history. In terms
similar
of
history.
Not much success.
But when you look at the Browns, it's a soap opera. Everything is going wrong.
Yeah.
And there's noise, you've got a flamboyant quarterback, but they've got absolute talent all over. The Bengals don't have that, and they're almost a mirror image of what's happening in Miami. So there's just a lot of guys who aren't particularly brilliant, just trying their best, looking like they're being reasonably well coached.
No divas.
No divas.
Which is very important.
Yeah.
To make any forward progress. So yeah, I think that's why Zach Taylor's got away with it this year. If he does it again next year, then he's in real trouble.
Again, any other franchise, you'd be saying, okay, he's going to go. This is the Bengals.
I think it's impressive that he's managed to stop them from turning into a train wreck.
Yeah.
Despite the losses. It'll be down to the losses rather than his locker room atmosphere that's going on.
One thing that is interesting, they have signed a player this week.
You're joking.
No, they have a bit of news.
Who have they signed?
The interception leader of the Canadian Football League.
Ooh. What's his name, Dave?
Winston Rose.
Winston Rose.
Yeah.
Just in time for not the playoffs.
I have no idea. I just saw a piece and thought I'll make a bit of positive for Bengals fans.
There you go.
Who's the Bengals player of the season? Do you reckon? I mean,
Mixon is the only one that did anything productive on the offense, and nothing really happened on defense. So, have to give it to Mixon.
Okay, I'm not going to argue.